listeners, one and all. This is another episode of the Dark Match. I'm the Arrow, and I don't know if I cared less about this pay-per-view than the audience, but we'll find out.
I'm Luke's in blah, whatever.
Wow.
That was Allie, our associate executive line contributing producer. I'm Christopher Says, Dark Match is Mastodon and Monotone. I'm with Arrow. This pay-per-view. Ugh.
And I'm Iron Bite. And once again, this is What's Iron Sheik tweeting now. Beastie Boys make it to Hall of Fame like Sheiky baby. I love them and respect the Jews.
He's all back and forth and shit about the Jews.
Yeah, I know, but I mean...
But at least he likes the Beastie Boys. I'm down with that.
I mean,
Dash!
I think he loves the Jews. He does say good things about them all the damn time. And I'm about to go horribly racist. So, final resolution. Was anything resolved? Was anything final?
Let me count.
I don't know about that because one of them had a stipulation where if the guy wins, then there's a number one contendership. So I'd imagine his title match closes that particular book.
Right. Yeah. There was just there was nothing of interest in this pay-per-view, whether it be the over-stipulized freaking Jeff versus Jeff match.
Oh yes.
Or the pointless title match. Like, why did this need to be an Iron Man match for one? And two, like, did anyone actually care? I mean, because it was obvious that they're not going to fire Jeff Hardy. They're not going to have him lose the match. Spoiler if you didn't see it. I mean, honestly, they're not going to fire Jeff Hardy, the guy they see as the dude, brother.
Yeah.
So obviously he's going to go over, and he's going to get his title shot next month. So obviously that means AJ's not going to win.
Well,
because they're not going to have a face versus face.
I mean, we'll talk about like the precedents behind like the AJ and the Bobby Roode match. But
I do want to say one thing about guys on, most prominently featured on posters. Sometimes TNA just puts guys on posters, and they're not even on the show.
Oh yes,
I think it was Kurt Angle at Genesis.
Yeah, my Eric Young avatar for this show kind of speaks volumes. That was on the Slammiversary poster. He wasn't on the show at all, from what I remember.
Right, so...
He was in the TV title match.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't defending it then.
Well,
no,
I thought
Slammiversary, dude.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah,
my bad.
But to actually get into this, it starts with a recap.
When we get to it, because...
There was only one good match in the show. Well, I guess one well put together match.
Two.
We'll get to that. Okay.
I thought there were two, but it starts out with their continuation of showing footage of Bobby Roode's family and is credited as former best friend, saying how he's selfish, how he pretty much betrayed their sensibilities and stuff like that.
Was it a montage of him doing typical Canadian things?
Yeah.
Like lumberjacking, maple syrup tapping, and...
Playing hockey.
Yes, okay, there we go.
Oh yeah, there was hockey playing in it. Yeah, it's they've been doing this for a while. I don't really know what it adds until you really get to AJ talking. He's the one that's feuding with him, but yeah, they're continuing with it anyway. And if there couldn't be any worse opening match, we have RVD versus Chris Daniels,
which was advertised on Twitter, TNA's new advertising platform.
I'm pretty sure this was advertised on the show.
It's like, yeah, TNA's sorely missing stuff like Motor City Machine Guns or their X Division talent like Jay Lethal to really have a good opener for the pay-per-view, something that's supposed to set a certain pace.
As for the stipulation for that match, it was announced on Twitter. They didn't hype it up on the show.
No, because they just thought about this. If you actually read the tweet, it was something like Dixie saying, "Oh, Sting just called me, and he wanted to add this stipulation." It's really stupid.
I have this sinking feeling. TNA has seen the WWE, basically use Twitter to get people over, and are going, "Gee, we can use that. We'll just announce everything we should be announcing on Impact for our pay-per-views on Twitter. people will love it.
Iron Bite. The funny thing about that was that during 2010, like around like the early stages of that year, they were putting their workers' Twitter accounts. They're putting Dixie Carter's Twitter handle like all over the show. So
Yeah.
they
Also, it's one thing to note that Dixie has, I think, like 120,000 followers. I know it's over 100,000. So I mean, they only get like 9,000 buys a pay-per-view.
But
so I
yeah.
mean, they're probably reaching out to their entire audience there.
But yeah, speaking of low buys, we still do have to talk about this match. It's
They made this. They made this like the one on the last show, where, well, I guess the last show was supposed to be a street fight, and then Daniel's like, wait, hold the phone. How about we just do a normal match?
Well, see, the way I saw it, they just went out of the ring and wrestled a match that had no direction, really didn't.
Right, these two guys just don't work together well.
Yeah, Daniels tries to get at RVD, he fails, then transitions, then RVD gets the advantage, Daniels gets the advantage, RVD tries a 5-star, which is blocked, and like this spot, along with quite a bit of others, were very predictable. Then he hits the 5-star, end of match.
Yeah. Rob Van Dam hits the 5-star frog splash, and Christopher Daniels wins.
No, Christopher Daniels did not win.
Christopher Daniels has won every single match he's ever been in, if you listen to Christopher Daniels, because he's fucking retarded right now. Seriously, that's how he's going to play it. Mark my word, he's going to play the fact that he beat RVD, even though he clearly didn't, because that's his gimmick right now.
Now
Bob Van Dam does the job to everyone.
Guessing by Allie's lack of reaction that this match wasn't worth it. Confirms my suspicions.
I can't think of anything.
I mean, personally, I think they should have opened with the next match.
Yeah, but
nice.
Fact of the matter is, the only thing memorable about this was that when they were showing the instant replay, immediately after RVD hits the 5-star, you see the cameraman start to run away and run towards the top of the ramp. And they kept that footage in for the replay.
And apparently,
what about how high Robert?
Okay, yeah, seriously, Nolly, if you're not on this.
But,
get off my show.
If one thing was a trend of this show, I won't be able to keep track of all the technical fuck ups they had. But there are a few pretty memorable ones.
Yeah, there were. That was the first of a few.
And I think at this point, I started to feel my eyelids go heavy for some reason. I don't know why.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, the crowd was just fucking dead.
We have a backstage interview with Mickie James. JB interviews her. She says she's disappointed at Gail Kim for betraying her. She thought that her return to the company would herald good things for the Knockouts, but it's done the opposite. Yada, yada, yada.
Who gives a shit?
Politic to the top. We'll have a match.
No, seriously. Who gives a shit about the Knockouts? Allie, do you?
Yes.
Well,
okay. Allie does.
It was a good match, as we'll get into, but don't really care about anything surrounding them. There's all these car washes and lingerie matches that are supposed to prove something but I don't know what that is.
On that note, I mean, just like I'm not a huge supporter of just like the TNA aspect of wrestling necessarily. Like, I understand it's there for a reason, but as far as like Lance Storm put it this way, the inclusion of like blatant TNA on wrestling programs is perfectly fine, because that's what they're using them for, instead of like trying to hide the fact that like these girls are wrestling, wink wink. They're not like trying to hide behind the fact that they're terrible workers. They're basically just showing them in skimpy clothing. Like, there you go. We just, who cares if there's no knockouts match or whatever? We're wasting that time on putting them in bikinis. Just be happy.
And having them watch cars, because
just wait till the fourth Sunday of every month or whatever it is, exactly. 4 weeks later.
They like that segment enough. They paid it about 2 or 3 times.
Oh yeah, they pretty much say the same thing about the build up to this feud leading up to the match, which is kind of funny for people who say they don't book their knockouts prominently. Again, as we said, they're prominent.
It was listed
just not in the right way.
As the semi-main.
Well, that's because whoever edits those pages and puts them in that order. not even gonna get into it.
Yeah.
I will talk about the Eric Young versus Robbie E match.
Yes, let's talk about this.
I'll complete with "We Want Ryder" chants.
Again, the TNA crowd falls asleep for a Rob Van Dam Christopher Daniels match, rightfully so. They wake up when Eric Young comes out, and the second Robbie E is on stage, it's "We Want Ryder." It's like, what? Wait, you people know about Ryder? I thought you were all plants.
It's like, still like watching Eric Young doing his like the Thez presses, the neck breakers, the elbow drops, but none of that really makes any difference. Like even if he had the TV title before, like his matches really didn't lead to anything. The only good part was like the end when Rob Terry has him in this like hangman submission from the ropes, and then it ends up where Robbie gets crotched into Robbie T. But
Robbie, I mean, Rob Terry has gone through how many gimmicks this year? Just ballpark it for me.
2.
1.
Well, he was just a big guy in Immortal, and then he was the fired guy in Immortal.
More.
And then, well, I guess the fired guy was just being fired.
Then he was that big face. Now he's that big heel. I think so.
I thought that. Well, I mean, he was an Immortal like the entire year. I thought.
I think he was in Immortal for like a second, and then they just dropped it when they realized,
Rob
Terry, you're terrible. You're worse than Matt Morgan. I didn't see how that was possible.
Yeah, I mean, if you're that big and you get kicked out of WWE, that says a lot.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look, Mason Ryan is still there.
But, yeah.
Anyways.
I mean, the thing is, I think the current gimmick he's with is good. I think this, like, if he could just do this forever.
Yeah, because he's a bouncer. Big men are bouncers.
Bouncer does nothing. This is probably a former job of him. He's reliving.
Yeah, he has a lot of experience pushing people away from that velvet rope.
Exactly.
Nonetheless, Robbie E busts out a code breaker and wins. Retains his title.
Yeah. And somebody tweeted to Jericho about James Storm using the code breaker. Nothing about Robbie E using the code breaker.
I wanted to bring up a couple of the highlights from the match.
Thank you,
There was an attempt at a doubles fireman's carry, but he fell over.
Oh, yes, the old...
and Rob Terry needs some speed stick or something.
The old reference to Cena carrying Show and Edge.
That was still a good spot.
It was fun to watch. I can't... I'm sorry I forgot it, but I did. Our next interview involves Devon and Pope. They're JBS them about their trust issues, to which Pope denies. And then Devon is the one who denies it. But he says, I don't quite care for him being around my kids.
Yeah. Fuck my sons. What are their names? Terrell and something else?
Yeah. Second technical problem of the evening. Was anyone able to hear Pope at all?
There was also one during the main event too, but we'll get to that.
He was trying to stuff the mic into the guy's face just to hear him.
Yeah, they had a lot of technical issues, and it made them seem very indie fed.
Bush League.
Yeah, not even.
Wait, they're not professional?
Shit. They're semi-pro.
Well, see, my idea is that given the budget, a lot of the indies would be a bit more careful.
I think if Chikara had this budget, they could.
Yeah.
Well, it's Chikara. Come on.
They seem to have the right idea about the way they present their workers.
Just watched High Noon. That was the shit. Anyway.
Let's talk about this tag match because
this wasn't predictable.
Devon and Pope versus Crim Morgan for the tag titles.
Yes, because I'm surprised TNA hasn't ripped off the whole combining two single guys' names into a tag team name yet. They've ripped off everything else with WWE. Do we even need to say that TNA will not make Morgan and Crimson lose until they're ready to have Morgan turn heel again, give Crimson a carbon footprint against the ring post, and then run around grabbing random people to defend his tag team titles.
You know
Away.
what I think is funny is that it's that Crimson, they're working this like winning streak gimmick or non-losing streak more so, or
Yeah,
not being
really.
actually really it's
They're
not
dancing around the whole thing.
the not being pinned or submitted gimmick. I think it's funny that they're doing that because nobody cares. Like you're trying to make him like freaking Goldberg.
Yeah, let's be serious.
Well, he's about 3/4 the size of Goldberg, and like what 5 inches shorter.
3/4 the size of Goldberg, 5 inches shorter, and about 2% of the charisma.
Yeah,
which is saying a lot.
And about like a ninth of the budget.
And about a 20th of the talent.
And his tattoo.
He's a decent worker. He just looks like one of the shrunken heads from Beetlejuice.
That's one way to put it.
But yeah, the one notable spot during this match was when Crimson spears Pope. According to Twitter, he basically he couldn't take a deep breath after that, and at the time of his tweeting, still couldn't. So he bruised a lung.
He should be in the hospital then, and Crimson should be in jail for assault. Oh wait, logic.
He voluntarily went in the ring to compete. That's like saying you're playing football and some guy tackles you. That's assault. I mean, it's not like he's not like he hit him with a sledgehammer backstage or anything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this match. By the way, I've kind of blanked when I rewatched this entire thing. Did the kids come out?
Yeah, that was post match.
Oh, lovely.
No one cares about that storyline.
What is going to happen is Devon and Pope are going to break up again, and the kids are going to side with Pope because we all saw this coming.
You don't say. Maybe we'll get swerved.
Yeah, we probably will. So we go to the back where JB is with AJ Styles, who's getting his knee wrapped after the attack by Rude last week.
He's not 100%. He's 200.
Yeah.
But Rude, you destroyed Fortune, but you cannot destroy AJ Styles. Which
you know what's sad? That
adequate promo.
Immortal has outlived Fortune.
No, Immortal has.
That's why they're immortal.
EV 3.0 and Fortune right now.
Exactly what it says on the tin. They'll be around after TNA goes down in WWE TNA.
Yeah, the Immortal will always be around, and that's just sad. So, hey, why don't we have a random TNA X Division Championship match?
This isn't random.
Yeah, they kind of did. They actually did.
This has been building up for like months or whatever. A month.
Austin Aries treating Kid Cash like a mule, and the mule kicking back.
Pretty much. And the thing is, I mean, this
nothing
is
wrong.
good. This is like two guys who work fairly stiff with each other. I mean, not each other necessarily, but with just work stiff in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of it was kind of interesting to see how this would end up working.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. I liked the way it went. I really liked some of the spots they did towards the end, but really, did anyone get the impression, notice that Kid Cash looks a little bit smaller?
A little bit.
Well, maybe they started drug testing in TNA. I better not get myself.
I'm sorry. I just had to laugh at that.
There was one moment.
Who would fail the first drug test in TNA?
Jeez.
I'll give you a hint. His name rhymes with Kurt Angle.
His name doesn't rhyme with Kurt Angle.
Well,
it is.
That's the joke.
I mean, would it be
obviously,
RVD? I mean, RVD could fail first.
It's a stupid joke.
Anyways, this match was just there on the floor for TNA to go, hey, look, all of our titles are being defended.
True. But again, like, still some good stuff. Like, I always like seeing Aries' usual spots, like he escapes from the head scissors and does a drop kick. He does that pendulum elbow. He does the bottom middle rope suicide dive. All that stuff.
But
that all make up a double.
Yeah.
A double.
And
That's a terrible nickname.
the best spot in this match had to have been the super bomb reversed into a Hurricane Rana.
Oh yeah, that looks sick.
Yeah, the crowd woke up for that one.
Mid-air. How the hell did they figure that out? I'll never know.
Talent, that's how. that's.
I mean, Kid Cash has been in the business for a long ass time, and Aries is a competent worker.
Yeah,
but,
so I mean, that's just one of those things that actually woke up the crowd.
Yeah, and it also led to technical problem number 3, where in the instant replay they show the aftermath of it first, and then they show the actual spot.
Oh, TNA.
It was to get more buys.
This is why you don't let Jason Harvey be your executive producer for the night.
Learn how this happened right now.
The end. The end was kind of some Eddie Guerrero monkey shenanigans shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But actually, before that, there was this one like really cool thing where Kid Cash keeps trying for the moneymaker, and then Aries just like he reverses that, does a knee breaker, and then shifts that into this like really like stiff looking back suplex. Like I never seen anything like that from either Aries or anyone else.
Yeah.
Like almost like an angle slam, but not as safe.
Yeah. The finish was both men get brass knuckles. Because why not? The referee
catches heels.
They're both heels.
Yeah, and the referee catches them both times. It's like, guys, rather than going disqualification.
Don't you know how wrestling works? You have to use it, and it has to be witnessed.
Yeah, Aries grabs his title belt, tosses it to Cash, and then falls down. Because Eddie Guerrero. And as the ref is taking the title away, Brainbuster!
It doesn't work unless it's on the top rope.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Usually when you see the whole, oh my god, he's got the title, and then the guy takes a flop or whatever, they'll just call for the bell. But then Cash is like, I wasn't gonna use this.
He fell down.
Also, I just like how they do the instinctive catch rather than just like they haven't learned by now. Don't catch it.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, you really want the title belt, so if somebody tosses it to you, are you going to drop it?
Yes, because I haven't earned that. I have integrity.
One of the cliches that you're not supposed to highlight.
Yeah.
Well, no, I understand, but like, the thing is, it is instinctive for a person to like do that. I guess they do it over and over. If if you were feuding with the guy, they're not necessarily feuding, so it's perfectly fine.
But yeah, a lot of controversy surrounding this knockouts match. I wrote in my notes that they played the knockouts recap, like basically the promo that Mickie James cut earlier. And what I didn't know is that they do that again instead of showing the tail.
They played it twice, and instead of just like interrupting it was a long ass promo too.
Yeah, and they didn't do anything about it. Didn't cut it out.
No, they just let it run.
Didn't go back to the ring. Technical problem number 4.
Yeah, another faux pas.
That's just amazing. That this show is being marred by these technical problems.
But nonetheless, a good match followed with some very awkward things that nonetheless actually kind of enhanced its quality.
Well, I mean, we have said shit about the knockouts, about how all of them just are crap. None of them can wrestle. Blah blah blah.
I said that. I didn't say none of them. There's very few.
But then all of a sudden we get a Mickie James versus Gail Kim match. and we're trying to wonder, why was this never done in the WWE? Oh, right, because the WWE cares even less.
I mean,
for
I'm sure if you
wrestling.
dig, you'll find something like on
Superstars.
Superstars, maybe.
They did have a match on Monday Night Raw once, but
Oh,
it
that's even
wasn't
better.
very good. It was the match where Gail Kim goes for the springboard cross body and basically knocked herself the hell out.
Oh dear, I wouldn't imagine that really fancied them to her. But
Well, see, by the time that Mickey James was still in the company, it was all about fucking Michelle McCool to take her happy.
yeah, she was getting on the rise. No, I think that was before like there was really anything going on, but you never know.
Right. I mean, I started watching SmackDown again probably at the end of Mickey James's career when they're doing the whole Piggy James bullshit.
You know what? I hated that.
This woman who
fucking
only fits into a size 2 is fat.
Yeah,
I
let's
hate that fucking storyline. Stop.
talk about
mentioning
this good match.
Yeah, let's talk about this because this match pretty much showed that Mickey James and Gail Kim can still go
Oh, there's no doubt
with
they could
each
both
other,
No.
and I don't understand why this match never happened in the WWE other than, like we said, keeping Michelle Taker happy. But
Well, actually, it'd probably be more to keep fucking Undertaker happy.
yeah, gotta keep Taker happy. Um, this like I said, this match was just Mickey James and Gail Kim saying, "Hey, we can still go."
Yeah,
Enjoy
and
this.
I mean,
This is
pretty
what
much.
Hey,
could
remember when the
do.
Medical division was awesome?
Yeah, it consisted of basically Mickey having the advantage early on, and then Gail puts her in an electric chair, just drops her straight on her chin. You consider the ring that they're landing on, and it's
Yeah, that ring is so stiff.
Though there was
So
a couple of bumps that looked like it left both of them a little woozy a couple
yeah,
times, so I always thought they were drunk.
yeah. Mickey
Like-
James after the electric chair drop, she looked pretty dizzy.
That's vintage WWE 12 after like 10 minutes of a match.
Oh,
Holding their head, gyrating in
going
circles.
on
Or just when you have to press, you have to button mash A, so they sober up. Yeah.
Ending of the match comes after Madison Rayne decides to come on out and get her ass kicked off the apron and eat defeat, which is the dumbest looking move I've ever seen since Madison Rayne's I Fall Down.
I don't
Didn't
know.
someone-
I mean, it's
you
a stupid name, but I don't think Gail completely does it right.
well,
in all honesty.
it's if you kind of invest in the idea of it, it's much better. And yeah, Soul Food is a much better name.
Right. I like the idea of it. I think instead of doesn't she only grab like one arm? She only
Didn't
grabs
some-
one arm, falls down, and then it basically causes the chin to go into the leg. I think if she grabbed both arms and then basically did it like a code breaker to the feet, I think that would be a lot better.
I just want to know, and I'm actually checking something out right now, but what was her? Okay, what was
That was
her
a
original?
It was a
Okay,
fiction.
why can't she go back to the straitjacket neck breaker slam? Or as they called it in TNA, the happy ending.
Oh god, that's awful.
Oh,
I can't think of
God.
anything.
Yeah.
Didn't
Maybe because she
someone
doesn't want it to be referred to as the happy ending. You
didn't
ever think
someone
about
run
that?
in? But
I mean, I don't think I think we could avoid this. I don't think we need to talk about about how racist against Asian people that is,
Or just in general.
or women. Yeah,
Iron Bite.
we didn't.
Not only am I racist, but
You're
I'm
sexist.
sexist too.
Yep.
And yet we didn't talk about the racism of having two white guys with blue eyes beat up black people with eugenics as their themes.
Oh God, you're right. We didn't talk about that. You know what? No, we won't talk about.
Oh,
Oh
God.
Lord.
Doesn't Crimson have red hair though? So he's not 100%
It's
Aryan.
more of a
Okay.
strawberry blonde, and we're so not talking about this. Gail
we
Kim
just
wins, retains. That makes champion number 4.
Yeah,
One,
sure. Why not?
2,
Well,
3.
Aries
Yeah,
won,
4.
TV title won, tag
Yeah.
titles won, knockout
Champion
win.
number 4 to retain their
There
title.
was no title changes.
I really want to hesitate to say what's going to happen in the main event. But next up, we've got James Storm talking about from the bottom of his balls. Sorry about your damn luck versus Kurt Angle.
Oh yes, he basically riles up the crowd by saying, "Stand up and race." Oh, I still think he does good.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
no, James Storm is fucking great, and really they finally realized that he's like ready to be the top guy in the company, especially with Angle, who's fucking injured, and then
No,
I mean, of course
you can't be the top
push.
guy, brother.
They're
You
gonna
can't
put.
be
No,
the
the
top
thing is,
guy.
they
Eric
realized.
Bischoff
I think
is
it
the
was.
guy, brother.
I think it was right around the time, right before going to Bound for Glory, where James Storm had that match with what's his face, Bobby Roode. When he had to face all the members of Fortune. Or no, he refused to. That's right. I can't remember. I can't remember the match, but it was sometime around then. I think it might have been Kurt Angle actually. But they realized that he could finally go, which is it's great. He's finally getting his dues, but it's just too damn late. Really, I mean, took like 9 years.
Yeah, it's too damn late, and it's the wrong fucking circumstances.
Yeah.
Isn't that just what we've been saying about TNA
And-
in general?
Well, the thing is, I think they could have done a lot better if they would have not brought James Storm back like they originally planned. If they would have kept it with Bobby Roode versus James Storm at Lockdown like they originally booked it, they could have gotten a decent amount of buys for a pay-per-view for once.
Yeah.
But as Eric Bischoff had said, it's not about pay-per-view buys.
Oh,
They
no,
don't give a
I'll
shit
get,
about
I'll get to that in
pay-per-view
the main
buys.
event. Like you can, or no, I'll get to that after this match actually, in which you can obviously tell it's not about freaking pay-per-view.
But yeah, like even so, they make the recap look good. They make the recap highlighting James Storm's concussion and talking about like his difficulties and how he was pretty much like diverted from the world title picture and kind of and like left distracted with this. But then the match happened.
Yeah, no, I really like the setup and the match for it. I mean, you can obviously tell Kurt Angle is just something's clearly not right with him. A lot of things, obviously, but he's like unable to really go as hard as he normally could.
His
Right.
crazy face, the fact there's a giant A on the front of his jumpsuit thing.
Singlet.
Singlet.
No, I like Allie's. I like Allie's jumpsuit.
Yeah, why
But
does no one
The
refer
Rock
to
jumps.
why does no
he
one
was-
refer to Kevin Nash's singlet as a diesel tank top?
Shut up.
Fine.
Oh God. For a guy with a concussion, James Storm was moving pretty well as far as I remember.
Well, I am pretty sure he got the concussion 2 weeks ago.
A month ago.
Are you sure it was a month ago? Well, I mean, in like kayfabe, I thought it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Maybe it was
okay.
3.
I
Maybe it was
don't
3. Anyway, yeah, he should be completely, pretty much over his symptoms unless he got another concussion. Yeah, I'm pretty. It actually wasn't 3. Whatever. It was 2 or 3 weeks ago. He should be over the concussion. I mean,
Well-
actually, I guess it depends on who you listen to, but I mean,
Well,
like
considering the fact that
yes, no pun intended. I mean, Orton did it in like 5 days, if you remember.
well, again, this is TNA, and they played. TNA was like going, and remember, folks, James Storm suffered a concussion.
Well, right. I mean,
Well, typically the time for recovery depends on the severity of the concussion.
obviously it's severity.
He was left in the back, bleeding with his skull cracked open.
and they did not attend to him for like 2
Don't know,
hours.
that's about 2 weeks.
I think they wanted to really play up the risk factor, obviously.
Oh,
But
well, there's
I mean,
that.
if he was concussed, I mean, I think he would have been fine, personally.
Again, they do the whole, we're going to tease the finishers, because,
Yeah,
that's what we do.
it's an angle match in autopilot. Yeah, belly to belly, angle slam. He pulls down the straps, even though that's supposed to be a crowd pleaser, and he's a heel.
He's always done that though. But finish comes when you know, the Angle goes for the angle slam. Storm kicks out of it. He goes for the moonsault because that's his go-to. I'm gonna
That's his
put you
go-to.
away match.
His,
Eats the mat, and Storm hits the Sweet Chin. I'm sorry, the last call super kick, and James Storm beats Kurt Angle.
Yep.
Yay!
Nice
Yay.
result. Good culmination. Didn't care for the match.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where we don't care, and
I mean,
there we go.
good super
Um,
kick. James Storm has a lot of good knee spots. He did a good apron DDT. Really good looking apron DDT, but yeah.
I'm just glad that he actually went over this time.
Yeah, there's
As we
that.
all are.
I think they're gonna. I think they're seriously going to put him on like rest or like take him out for a while.
I hope you don't mean OVW.
No, I don't. I mean like they're putting him to like
I hope you don't mean India.
Nappy
Ugh.
time.
No, India might actually be a better promotion. The TNA India might actually be better than the current American product.
Dave Lasagna.
Speaking of India, we've got our steel cage match, and I think at this point, this was announced on what was it, Saturday or Friday? I don't know. On Twitter, Dixie Carter tweets going, "I just got off the phone with
The cage
Sting."
match was advertised. The cage match was advertised. The Twitter
The stipulation was
the
not.
stipulation was on Saturday.
Yeah, okay. Sting basically says on Saturday, which Dixie announces over Twitter, if Jeff Jarrett loses, either him or Karen will be fired.
Yay!
Again, and I'm actually going to go to our own Tifus, who I'm paraphrasing here, basically who gave a beautiful storyline that you could have ran for a month that involved the knockouts, Karen Jarrett actually being smart, and instead this goes we don't give a shit. We'll just throw something at the wall. The fuck?
I really don't understand what the stipulations added. To be honest, I mean I'm sure nobody really does.
Well, there are rumors that as I said,
Karen wanted out?
India, that Jeff Jarrett is going to go over and head up the India promotion.
I wouldn't do that. I mean that pretty much puts him in 3 promotions. You know.
Whoops.
He still has the super mega heavyweight Mexican title in AAA.
Yeah, he's the Rey de Mexico, Jeff Jarrett, against the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy. And we've got the insane icon Sting with the bitchiest woman to ever bitch, Karen Jarrett,
Again, that's not true.
handcuffed
And
to him.
See, okay. Here's a problem. Sorry to cut you off, Allie. But here's a problem already. So why does Sting even need to handcuff Karen? Are they worried that she will scale the cage?
because Sting's gimmick is being a creepy uncle, and just have character tied to him.
Yes, because when I want creepiness, I want to be handcuffed to the most annoying woman in the company.
Actually, in my opinion, by creepy you mean drunk. Just someone who's constantly drinking and has his finger on the button.
He's drunk with power.
Sometimes funny.
Most of the time,
Alcoholic uncle.
Yeah. Most of the time, quite sad sacky.
So, yeah, Jeff Hardy. I mean, this was a cage match, and when there's a cage match, Jeff Hardy has to jump off of it. You know.
Oh yeah,
Back.
He's gonna
hated
counter
that
to
spot.
anything.
Fucking
Well, he's
hated
always
this.
done that. I mean, maybe
It's true.
It's in his DNA.
It's true, but that seems to be like, at least in the WWE, it would be like usually the culmination of something. He gives him a twist of fate, goes to do a swanton but doesn't, gives another twist of fate. Then he's about to leave the cage, but he's like, no, I'm gonna do a swanton. There's no reason for
that
this
reminds
shit.
me of one time. I think it was on SmackDown. He's in a 2-on-1 match against the Dudley Boys. Ironic how they're both in TNA now, or all three are.
Coincidental.
Anyway, somehow there was a freaking table in the ring. I don't know how that happened, to be honest.
Just why
Anyway,
not?
I think this clip was actually in Botchamania. Anyway, and also Lita and Matt are out at ringside. So Jeff goes to the top of the cage, and he could have just escaped, but instead he goes to Swanton Bubba Ray through the table, which also the botch came when Bubba Ray actually put himself on the table. But yeah,
Oh,
it just
God.
reminds me of that.
Or psychic powers.
Yes.
Well, he's
Psychic
charismatic and
powers.
an enigma. We'll never know.
Are we seriously not talking about this match?
What do you want to know about it?
Oh,
It
yeah.
was short, boring, and Jeff almost killed himself again. Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, and
So
after,
your typical Hardy match. I don't know how, but somehow Karen Jarrett gets the handcuff keys and manages to free herself. And
Only reason she'd be out there, you know?
yeah, and it's gonna give her husband the guitar, but it's like Sting wakes up and goes, "No," and drags her off somewhere.
oh yeah, so Sting being incapacitated really meant nothing.
Yeah, this entire thing for him being handcuffed to her meant nothing.
Yeah.
And Jeff Jarrett walks into a twist of fate, and 1, 2, 3, that's it.
And we
And Sting goes, in 4 days, one of you is getting fired, and Karen screams because why
And then
not?
Jeff makes a really weird face.
oh yeah, best part of that match.
Pretty much the best part of the last two pay-per-views were Jeff's emotions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is the match I want to talk about when you said that they don't book for pay-per-view. And it's blatantly obvious they don't. I mean, the model is clearly backwards. You shouldn't even do pay-per-views if you're not booking towards them. Anyway, the point is, like, you can clearly see, like, if one of them was going to get fired, you would do it there, and that would be a reason to go to see the pay-per-view. Which one of them is going to get fired? That's
Yeah.
why you would. That's like a stipulation
Exactly.
that you'd want to see. And if you don't buy the pay-per-view, you don't know or whatever. But they're doing the whole firing on Impact, and since Impact isn't even live, we'll know tomorrow or no later this evening.
No, yeah, you're right. We'll learn later today who gets fired because they're taping right now.
God damn.
That's
more
how
can you
cynical
say?
we are.
You want to talk about more really sloppy booking with the main event?
It was an Iron Man match for no reason.
Yeah.
I woke up in the middle of this match when they first initially viewed it. That's how boring this was.
I actually I went to get food during it, and they stalled from the end of the cage match. I came back with 20 minutes still left. I swear I was gone for like a half hour.
You missed about like 10 minutes of like AJ and
I didn't miss a single fall. I don't think.
and Rude basically kind of feeling each other out, then feeling each other out a little bit more.
Then one of them did a ball grab, and it was all good.
Yeah. Feeling each other out a little bit more.
Filling each other up apparently, and
out.
Walking around in circles, 10 minutes of not wrestling.
I mean, before this, there was a Rude promo where he plays up the fact that he's fuck Sting's authority. I spit in authority. Don't you remember me spitting at him?
Why does no one fire
Dixie.
him?
Dixie spat at Dixie.
didn't we talk about this on the impact on the Impact recap about how this is dumb even by WWE standards?
Well, this is TNA, brother.
Oh right, this is dumb even by because again I get the whole oh I'm against authority type heel / face.
He's like Stone Cold, brother.
Arrow.
All the good parts.
Arrow,
Stone
I have a
Canadian.
giant crossbow right here. I will load you into it and fire you into the sun if you ever compare Robert Roode to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It's like a shitty Stone Cold.
Well,
There
I mean,
you go. See,
that insult sucked, so maybe I will again later when I get the opportunity.
But
I mean,
yeah.
he could be stunning Bobby Roode if he brought back the robe.
Oh yes, he really could. You know, and I would be fine with that because at least he'd be following the TNA tradition of getting a crappy nickname for no reason.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they may have
Well,
just fooled me.
that's a WCW tradition, to be honest,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they just carry both.
The this was.
You cut out for a second. I don't know what the hell you're
Oh,
saying.
I'm sorry. The story they had for this match was AJ's knee is not 100%. So let's work the knee.
If
Work
they
the knee.
put over anything in the match, that was the one thing that they really put over was
What I don't really
AJ's
understand
fucked up.
is,
I thought it was his angle, by the way. I mean, excuse me, his ankle.
By the
yeah,
way,
I
I
was
love the
like,
fact that
he's
the
gonna continue the ankle from last month because he
Arrow,
legitimately had a high ankle sprain.
Yeah,
Arrow.
yeah.
Hold on a second.
Oh yeah,
I love the fact that the scoreboard was completely off screen and it was near the top of the arena itself. So you couldn't even check the score about 10th at the time.
Why
well,
would you?
yes. To be fair to that, I mean, yeah, no, you should always display the score, especially in an Iron Man match. Um, but if you're watching the whole thing, like you should on a pay-per-view, because it's obviously not, I guess, commercial interrupted. Yeah, I guess I would say you should know the score. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, they had it displayed above the ring and above the crowd, but not as a watermark. And in terms of the timer, they put it up there, then they made it go away, and then they put the watermark back, and it stayed. Okay,
Again,
TNA.
that
Oh,
during an
also,
Iron Man.
one thing to note, when every time there would be like the first few falls, Jerry Borash's microphone was not functioning properly.
Yeah, production botches galore in this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They got it right by about the third fall.
But yeah, in the first fall was fucked up because Rude just kind of it looks like a rope leverage pin, like one of those heel moves, but instead he looks rolled up in like the fetal position. It doesn't look like it looks like he's about to do that, but they do the pin count before he's able to.
That's just amazing. The timing was just wow.
But basically 10 minutes in.
Yeah,
Give or
this
take.
this match was again. We've said this before, and we're going to continue to say this. TNA does not book for pay-per-views
We'll
because if
see.
they did, they would have had a definite winner
For
in
one
this.
thing, like the first 10 minutes of them is feeling them out. In an Iron Man match, I would expect them to do that if it was an hour-long one, because like, I mean, in this like, we expect okay, so it's 30 minutes, it's going to be compact. They could get to the quicker spots much faster, and they don't. Except also, if you're in an Iron Man match, you want to be beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
So either
hell,
way, they played it
if you
wrong.
if you were doing an Iron match smartly, you would attempt to get yourself disqualified a few times to get some easy pins later on. You know, just do a couple chair shots, soften up your opponent, and then go, okay, now he's weak. Let me hit a couple quick moves. Hey, look, I just got two points to that 1 point I lost.
But
No, this match ends with on a 3-3 draw.
whoa! You want to hear the other falls? After that awkward pin, Rude gets AJ in a figure four. He eventually taps. Blah 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 blah. Crossface to Rude. Rude taps to that. Um, AJ gets a second pin with an inside cradle. He gets his third pin with a really good springboard 450.
Oh yeah,
Pitch perfect.
yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
Then
so
Rude gets a third fall with an actual rope assisted pin.
Yeah,
25
yeah.
I'm surprised like he didn't get caught using that. Because
I don't.
that was like that was literally like right out of the Kurt Angle match he lost at Bound for Glory.
Oh no, it was that was direct rip of it.
I mean, instead of
Intentional.
just like he did it was identical.
No, yeah, it was most likely intentional.
Yeah,
And then time expires with a 3-3 draw. And on Impact this Thursday, Rude's gonna go, I beat AJ Styles. No, you
Which
didn't. Yes, I did. I'm still champ, aren't I? Go back to your trailer park, AJ. You don't get no more shots. I'll go deal with this drug infused hippie and possibly Jeff Hardy.
there was no sudden death. That was weird.
Yeah,
Again, I wouldn't mind AJ losing if he actually lost instead of, well,
titles don't
controversy
change
or
on
something.
ties.
I mean, really, like, considering Jeff Hardy's win and what he gets from that win, no, AJ's not going to win.
Exactly. And you know
I know
another
that.
part
I
of this
mean,
is,
but again, I would have actually liked to see him lose
Yes.
yeah,
instead of,
leaving it ambivalent like this is stupid.
Match on Impact.
Right, exactly. They're gonna have a match on Impact either tomorrow.
Yeah.
The problem with this being a Iron Man match, traditionally Iron Man matches don't draw. Like, there's a reason why I went to go out and get food at the beginning of, or what I thought was to be the beginning of this match. It was because it only matters what happens at the end. Because in every single Iron Man match you've ever seen, it's always tied at the end. And then they do and if it ends in a tie, you always get the 5 more minutes.
yeah, to do.
And they had 5 more minutes. They had 9 more minutes on this pay-per-view.
Again, TNA does not just does not book for pay-per-views.
No, I understand this, but like, you could have gone the overtime and then just like had nothing happen, you know? If you really wanted to do this tie bullshit, you know?
But no,
And really, they should. The thing is, they should book for pay-per-views anyway, because even if you're not going to increase your buy, I mean, there is a slight chance you could increase your buys by maybe 1,000 eventually if you try and reestablish the integrity you have with fans, because you have that solid like 1 million to 1.5 million people that tune in every single week without fail.
If they
There's
just had
literally no reason not to book for pay-per-view.
if they just had enthusiasm for the fucking pay-per-view shows, they could actually advertise for it.
Or they had an enthusiastic crowd. I mean, this should have. If they had an enthusiastic crowd about this, they could have actually had maybe like a thumbs in the middle, maybe possibly thumbs almost up, in my opinion, pay-per-view.
They actually did react pretty well to Jeff Hardy, I will say. Like there were a few things here and there that they did, like they reacted here and there to RVD, but hey, in my opinion, it's on them. I think they have to make a better effort to have an enthusiastic crowd.
pretty much that. So, guys, that was Final Resolution. So, what gets more screen time than Jay Lethal? I'll start. The handcuffs that were used to bind Karen Jarrett and Sting together got more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Recaps and recaps and more recaps. Maybe recaps of recaps get more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Shit, he took mine. Kurt Angle's.
Hey, you don't like those tights, do you?
I hate them.
Why? Because they represent him.
Sesame Street.
Hey, what if all of his matches were brought to you by the letter A? Would that make you happier?
I said that joke during the show.
Well, what if they were officially like they came out like just how the main event's always now sponsored by Wrangler jeans?
Periphery audience.
Oh, go Arrow
Oh,
or
okay.
go Alley. One of you two. I don't care which.
Wow, someone's a hater. Oh, jeez. I should have had something pre-prepared. But I'll say Jeff Jarrett's amazing emotions and facials get more screen time than Jay Lethal, was it? Some
Yeah.
guy, some TV title and some third-rate production or promotion.
The AAA thing.
AAA. Yeah, that's good enough.
Double A double.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shit.
Well, for this lot of fantastic talkers, I'm the Arrow.
I'm
been
glad
the Dark
you're
Match.
Arrow. I'm Iron Bite.
I'm
Yeah.
Christopher Says.
That's them.
I'm Lux and everyone go away.
Wow. Well,
I
on that
am the table.
It's
on that positive note, this has been the Final Resolution recap for 2011. It doesn't get much worse than this.
Except it will.
Adios.
Good night and good luck.